Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's meeting about the Cloud Native Sustainability Week 2024. Um, Today is Wednesday, the 21st of February. This is the first meeting of two. So we have this meeting for the Asia time zones. And I mean, yeah, so the APAC time zones. And then there's another one for Europe and North America later today. So there will be two recordings of these. Thanks everybody for joining in. So we have a couple of slides prepared. I'm actually jumping in on these, so I have not prepared these slides myself. Somebody else did it, but they are unable to join. They have to travel for work on short notice. So jumping in, hopefully, I don't know, you have some good questions and we will see. So, right, let's just start with the slides. So I think most of you or all of you are aware this is like a community project, the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. There are a couple of slides later also which dig more into what we did last year, so 2023. But it's all like under the CNCF Technical Advisory Group for Environmental Sustainability. So in the CNCF, we have a couple of technical advisory groups, which are just community groups for certain domains. So we have, for example, a tag security who does security stuff, and tag app delivery, tag, and so on and so forth, network runtime. And we are for environmental sustainability. And one of the goals is that we want to connect the community and want to drive sustainability in the cloud native ecosystem. And for our field, which is quite new, I think it's very important that we also focus a lot on communication and then that we can just exchange ideas and know actually where this field is going. And that's the idea of the Cloud Native Sustainability Week, that we connect globally kind of our ideas, not just, I don't know, at KubeCon or at some places, but also like in community groups. If you want to join the tag meetings, we actually have our regular tag meeting today. Probably for most of you in the Asia time zone, it's maybe not the best fit because it's in the afternoon Europe time, so it will be probably in the morning your time. But there is, I think in February or in March, we will start an Asia-friendly meeting, which happens once a month. So if you would like to participate outside of the Cloud Native Sustainability Week in discussions, whatever, blog posts, white papers, whatever, we will have like an additional meeting to also allow contributions. All right. For the tag, we have a couple of like websites and channels where we communicate. I think most of you are aware of these probably via Slack. If you have not joined Slack yet, I would definitely join that first. It's like our primary communication channel. If you join the CNCF Slack and then tag -env sustainability, you basically will not miss out on any communication. And then we have the GitHub repository with all the information and a website, which is also nice. All right, so already said a couple of words about the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. So what is it? So we organized this last year in October for the first time. A couple of events also were a little bit later because it's difficult to have everything planned in 1 week. Because I think some countries, for example, had like vacations or like holiday periods and so on. But the idea is that we have everything in 1 week, if possible. So we have like a lot of momentum and just have like it's like the week of sustainability, and it's not just the year of sustainability because every year is kind of the year of sustainability. So if we bundle everything in one week or in a short period of time, I think we can make quite a impression also to the community and raise awareness and yeah. So unite the community to discuss emerging topics of environmental sustainability in the cloud and in open source. And with the success of last year, we just figured it would be a missed opportunity if we don't organize it again. So here we are, 2024, new Cloud Native Sustainability Week. So we have a couple of like common or overall like goals. Understanding the landscape, raising awareness, promote the tag, and the efforts, foster collaboration between projects. And I think at some things last year we were quite good, raising awareness and understanding maybe also the landscape a little bit better and identifying knowledge gaps. Maybe at some other things like fostering project collaboration, we can be a little bit better also this year, but we will see. So if you're interested in participating in organizing an event at your local community, or if you would like to participate in the overall organization, I think these goals are good to keep in mind. At the end, like how every group kind of tackles this event is very independent, so you can do it in all sorts of ways. But I think having this at the back of your head is quite nice or good. So last year, so we also wrote a blog post about these, which also kind of gives more detail about the event last year, but we had quite a lot of events. So for the first time we organized this, we had over 22 in-person meetups. We had a virtual mini conference, which was a couple of hours long with a few speakers, which is also recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So on our CNCF TAG YouTube channel, they're still recording. And we had daily live streams from Cube Simplify about these topics with discussions with guests. So like kind of podcast style a little bit. And then we also had daily blog posts about various topics. So sustainability and Linkerd, Scaphandra. There was one about Kepler, and I think two other ones. So I think quite a diverse set of different things that happened in this 1 week. And we will see. Maybe this year we can do more, less, or different things. We will see. But I think this was already very great. Yeah, so a couple of things. Actually, maybe it would be interesting to know from the people here in this meeting. So a couple more joined. If you're interested in like what part of the event you're interested in, if you already have like some kind of questions or things you would like to talk about.
Um, can I?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
yeah, basically I'm from like Kepler project. I'm working on the writing the code for the Keplers. What I wonders about the what the community could provide it is like the de facto standard or some, I mean like there's many exporter for the powers, not just only the Kepler, but there's many providers provide the metrics for the power. So is there any plan that we will have like some de facto standard that everyone will follows and it will be like acceptable for our community?
Yeah, that's a good point. So this will be something which kind of can fall under the tag, but it's a little bit outside of the Cloud Native Sustainability Week, so it's a little bit like something different. So in the beginning of this year in January, we kind of collected all sorts of ideas which we can focus on this year. For example, writing a white paper about benchmarking CNCF tools and all kinds of things. Yeah, also, for example, the monthly Azure-friendly meeting was also one idea which was proposed. And I think this would be another one, which the tag, if there's like if the field is already mature enough to kind of get together a couple of maintainers of these projects, um, including Kepler, to kind of work on the standard, I think the
Mm,
tag is in a good position to facilitate this communication.
I see. So this like week organizer is more like creating the visibility of the sustainability or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So this it's like an event. So it's about organizing the event and also thinking about, okay, where can we like how should the event look like? How can we facilitate the communication and maybe also I mean if people are from Kepler would also to join in. I mean at the end we can shape out the event however we like. We can also make it a hackathon, for example, or something similar. Um, so we can be a little bit more creative. Last year I was pushing a lot on being simple and okay, let's just get the meetups right. We have 22 meetups, that's already a lot. We have all these kinds of things. But I mean, I think now with I mean, we are starting very early in February if we are planning to do this in September, so there's more time. I think maybe also a little bit more in general, like help from the community, so we can also do a little bit more. So, yeah,
Yeah, cool, I think. And I think it's also depend on like how many people we have for
yeah,
creating the week. Yeah. Okay.
100%. All right. But if you like, could you bring up, um, or should we track your idea about the standard? Because I think it's worth tracking it. So we could either open an issue in GitHub in our repository, like a call for action that we can think about. I don't know, initiate like starting the conversation about standards.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah,
sure
I
if
think
we already have like the time. So before KubeCon, we will for sure not start this, but maybe I don't know, like something that we can aim to tackle maybe this summer or so.
mhm. Yeah, it would be nice if we could have, or at least we can like make some blog posts for summarizing what we have right now and
Yeah.
like what is
Yeah,
discussed about the futures.
that would be great too. Yeah. So do you mind opening an issue in the tag repository or
You mean like me open the issue, or you want to open the issue?
you? That'd be
Okay,
really
okay.
awesome. You don't mind. Okay, awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you. All right. The other ones, if you like, I mean, you don't need to unmute yourself, but um, like, okay.
Sorry, but then, may I know, are there any topic we would like to promote this year? Maybe like we can focus on the specific topic or something like.
Yeah. So we are at the start. So kind of right now we don't have already these details, what specific things we would like to promote. But I think it gives, so last year we didn't had like too much of guidelines for, or not guidelines, but maybe also support for the organizers, which kind of information you can talk about or discuss. So for
Yes.
example, if you would like to have like a panel discussion, what would be like good questions just to ask in the group? So we get like feedback just from the group. So a little bit more support. So I think this year, this is something we can improve because we, as I said, we are starting a lot earlier. Um, Everybody already knows, okay, last year was a big success nonetheless. So everybody is more, I don't know, knows this can be good this year as well. So it's not a waste of time. So I think these would be good. We should record these. I will make a note. Um, all right. For the other ones, if you like, do you have already like questions about the Cloud Native Sustainability Week? Are you interested in organizing or helping out, or you observed at the event last year some things that we should focus on? So we did a retro about last year, so we already have like a couple of items that we would like to improve, but maybe now is a good time also to talk about those.
Mm.
All right. If not, I can also move on. I see a few more joined also this meeting. That's great. Right. Right. These were like a couple of issues that we opened last year. So for this is like just to give like a little bit more transparency about the organization. So there's actually like a lot of work we need to do, like in general, like globally. So last year we had also an attendee survey. We issued badges. We did social media promotion together with the CNCF. We organized the virtual tag meetup. So we kind of scheduled all of this. Then we wrote all the blogs or facilitated, or we communicated with these with the authors of the Capital Project, for example, as well, as I said before, or some others. And then also, that's also something we did last year, that we created some template slides and some assets and just artworks and all those kinds of things. So local meetup organizers can already have like some sort of support. But I think what you said, Phil, it makes definitely sense to extend this. As I said, like maybe writing up some talking points, discussion items if you're planning to have like a panel discussion. And then, I don't know, so you can just ask more pointed kind of questions, and then we can funnel those back somehow. So if you're interested in the overall organization as well, a lot of help is needed. Right. So, right, for the right now, everything is not defined for this year. So we don't have already the date or the week. We don't have yet the folks who will organize these. I organized this with a few others last year, but I will kind of pull myself out a little bit and try to support where I can. Two CNCF ambassadors are already interested in organizing these, so that's very great. If you're interested too, let us know somewhere. Yeah, and then we probably will do some kind of outreach to the organizers of last year. So just to ask if they're interested in organizing again or knowing somebody who would like to organize. And then probably we will see how we can extend the event. So there were not too many events, for example, in the USA last year. And also like in the Asia time zones. So we didn't have one in Japan, for example. So I think like a couple of places would be very nice, just to have like a better coverage of all sorts of different communities. So we have also different companies who are joining then the local meetups and so on. So just like a better overview about everything. Right. And for the local meetups, usually finding speakers, sponsors in the venue, that's like the main task to do. And from my own experience and also from last year, it's very good to start with this process early, especially finding like a location. Sometimes finding speakers is not the biggest issue, but having like a venue and also like a sponsor should be something that we do like early. And then we also wrote a guide last year, so we don't forget, for example, taking photos, so we can just share it, things like this. Record the sessions if possible, so we can watch it later on our YouTube channel, we have a couple of recordings from, I think, Italy, from Milan and from Paris, and a few others. So I think that's great. Right. How can you contribute if you're interested? So you can either help with the global organization or with local meetup organization. Down the line, we will again do all these templates. So surveys, graphics, presentation templates, and so on. There's a lot of social media work to do. Also a lot of outreach. So if we are, for example, I don't know, doing like a hackathon, for example, there's a lot of coordination to do for that. So maybe, I don't know, that we talk to the Kepler team or some other team who is like featured in the hackathon. So we can just find like a outline or whatever. So, right. Right. So if you're interested in checking out last year on our website, I can also find the link in a second, real quick. We had a nice overview about all the events with a bunch of links to more material. So that's on our website. We also had a blog post about these, which we, I think, scheduled in January, so it's not that old. Right. I will find the links in a second, but maybe for everybody here, I think this is also a good time just to talk about, yeah, if you have like any feedback, anything, what you are looking for in the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. As I said before, the event is, the planning has not really started yet. Kind of the baseline is last year, but we can change all the things. We will for sure, that's like the core idea, have local meetups again in all kind of areas. But what we do at the meetups and all sort of things is open to discussion, depends like on everybody's feedback and also how much time we have in general to organize these things. So if you like, just to share your, I don't know, ideas or whatever, feel free. Now is a good time. And let me grab the links. All right, I sent the links in chat. The first one is for the blog, and the second one is for like the event overview page or whatever.
Is the blog post is like general topics, or could we like dive into the project, for example, the Keplers and so on? Or should be the common one if you want to create a blog post or something like that.
So, right. So these are the blog posts here as well that we scheduled during the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. So welcome. Then one about Linkerd and how they kind of improve their open source project to reduce overheads. And then there's also one about Kepler. I don't know if you saw this, but these blog posts can definitely be also about projects if they fall under like the scope of the tag or the event. And if they're like open source and things like this.
Is there any like limitations or the procedures to go?
To write a blog post?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a template for these. things. Let me grab this real quick.
Yeah, well, Leo searching on the template. The currently on the current page, if you see the capital with E still, actually is Peng Hui's, also a
Oh.
capital maintainer around. Yeah, the home chart maintainer Peng Hui, right? Is his topic on the KubeCon in China last year. And also we reused this session during the System Week in China last year. So somehow the relationship, or say in my point of view, the System Week meetup is more like maybe like a KCD, Kubernetes Community Day, or the observability community day. But well, for us, we focus on the system computing on the cloud native way. So the observability community day focus on the observability and cloud natively, like open telemetry or Prometheus, etc., etc. So current, referring to our experience last year, we make, in case in the Sustainable Week local meetup in China, we just call for topics, and those topics almost provided by the capital maintenance from China, like Peng Hui, Renji, and me. So, well, in fact, we also have some topics from other CNCF members, for example, Tensor and others, but their topic is far from sustainable, so we don't, make them in as a part of the topic in the final published agenda. Yeah. So just imagine, if we have have the meetup in Japan, maybe we can have some topics from Kepler, as maybe from Peng yourself and SR there, and also some Kepler related topics as how to use Kepler maybe with a large language model or something else, and also the new operator there. And also we can, host, because the CNCF meetup rule needs different sponsor, or say different CNCF member to co-host the event, right? So maybe we can also have Red Hat, Inter, other to get other topics, maybe some from eBPF, some from other projects there, etc.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. So, if we have some idea, we can just first create the issue with the template that I think we go usual for a while with that blocks, and then we have a discussion that which one that should go, or we have a meeting in community first and decide on the topic before creating the issue.
You mean to submit a blog or
To post
contribute?
the GitHub issue that Leo showed before, that is have a template on the GitHub issue, right, with the blog's title.
Yeah, so you were talking about the blog. So I think for this, the blog template is usually a good fit. But you also mentioned something about Kepler and so the standard way, the standardization, which we talked earlier. So for this case, we don't need like a proper template. It's just describing like the idea. And if we are talking about how we can, for example, utilize the Kepler project, or which kinds of things we would like to highlight of the Kepler project in the event, I think this would also be something different than the blog post or standardization topic you were talking about. So it's like a third one. And for this, I would also just open up an issue. We don't need like a crazy template for these, not the blog post template. And then link it to the issue 290, because it's like the tracking issue of the entire event. And then we can just discuss it under the GitHub issue. I think this is better just to open this up right away, and then we can follow up with the meeting afterwards in a month or so, if there's like more feedback to the issue, so there's more to discuss.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't have any idea about blog posts right now, but I will create an issue related to the standard that we discussed in the
Awesome. Yeah, and also as Sam mentioned, I think like the event itself is quite big, but it does not look as big because the events, every event usually has like, I don't know, like 50 to 100 people that show up. If you are smaller, if you are a little bit bigger, but in total, I mean, that's a very big number. So we had over 1,000 in-person people joining the events during the second week of October last year.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits or it is in that sense probably even bigger than the KCD if you look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, so last year in China, luckily we have Red Hat as sponsor for the event there. So we use Red Hat's local live stream, and lots of people join us from online locally. So about the schedule for in this year, Leo, as far as I know, CNCF host a event. Maybe not I'm not sure if they updated the CNCF event calendar yet or not, but they already decided the KubeCon and Open Source Summit schedule and published in via some blog there. So that's the reason I know the KubeCon in China is in August this year, well, postponed from July or June. So which already announced. So for the System Week this year, honestly, I don't want to conflicts, or say I want to avoid conflicts with KubeCon there. Yeah,
Sure.
because last year, well, 2nd of October in China, conflicts with KubeCon. For the call for proposal window, because at early of October is our national holiday. So
Yeah.
So for the tag community, our tag leaders, do we have any proposed option already been according to the calendar? So any option or potentially preferred choice been discussed yet?
No. That's one of the first things that we need to discuss. So the first thing now is just to kind of have this meeting to talk about, okay, this is happening this year again. And if you have any feedback about the event, and also to get a couple of leads so folks who can lead this organization of the event. And then one of the first steps is then to have like a timeline and also a date of the event. So I think last year so it's impossible. I think probably it's impossible to find a week where you don't have like any conflicts in all the countries that we organized the event. I think last year was kind of good for 90% of the events, and for the rest, it was kind of, I don't know, not as good because there were maybe like a holiday, or as you mentioned, like the also like a conflict kind of with the schedule in the KubeCon China. But this year, I mean, we don't need to host it in the second week of October. We can shift it around, have a little bit earlier or later. We will for sure not have this before summer, I think. So not in June or so, because time schedule-wise, this is, I don't think, enough time, because now, so the next month is kind of busy with KubeCon EU. Most of the people were busy with that. And then I think we will kind of focus a lot more on the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. There's just more time. So probably like the second half of the year, I don't know, like third quarter or fourth.
Okay.
But which week exactly is open to discussion. Probably we'll have a doodle or whatever, or some kind of, just to like some kind of form where all people can just click check marks and write things, okay, why this week does not fit for various reasons. And then at some point we need to make a decision. Probably, as I said, it's impossible to find a week where there's no conflict, but we will see.
Okay.
Okay. Any more things you would like to talk about? I can share the slides, by the way, with all of you, of course. And yeah, thanks everybody for joining. If you have any more like comments or questions, there's the tracking issue to under the CNCF TAG ENV repository. Let me see. So you can use this just to comment anything. Where is it? There it is. Right. Otherwise, a great place is also the CNCF TAG Environmental Sustainability channel. So if you have like anything, you can just drop a message. And if you're interested in helping out in the organization, feel free to just comment here. And yeah, thanks everybody for joining. I'm sure we will have another meeting in a month or two about these. And yeah, I will stop the recording and talk to all of you soon.